Hi, welcome you all for Sri Lectures YouTube channel. This is in this video we are discuss about vector analysis in electromagnetic theory crash course. This is the second lecture. So with respect to Anna University, this is the unit 1 second topic. So already in lecture 1 we are discussed about some of the introduction of EMT and some of the electromagnetic devices and some of the applications. So in this lecture we are move on to detailed analysis of vector field. Electromagnetic field problem involves three space variable as a result of which the solutions tend to become complex. This become overcome by use of vector analysis. Vector analysis is a mathematical shorthand which greatly facilitates the analysis of electric and magnetic fields. Scalar quantity. Already we all know scalar is nothing but a quantity which have only magnitude is nothing but scalar. Scalar quantity, some of the examples are time, mass, distance, temperature, entropy, electric potential and population. All are the some of the example for scalar quantity. So next one is vector quantity. Vector is a quantity which have both magnitude and direction. Some of the example for vector quantity are velocity, force, displacement, electric field intensity. Next one, to distinguish between a scalar and vector, it is customary to represent the vector by a letter with an arrowhead on the top of it, such as A vector and B vector, or by a letter in boldface. Generally, some of the textbook they given not given a vector, simply giving a vector as a capital letter in boldface. So field. A field is a function that specifies the particular quantity everywhere in the region. If the quantity is a scalar or vector, the field is said to be scalar field or vector field. Scalar field. Example for scalar fields are temperature distribution in a building, sound intensity in the theater, electric potential in a region and refractive indices of a stratified medium. So refractive index is with respect to optical communication. So these are the some of the example for scalar field. And next, vector field, gravitational force on a body in a space and velocity of raindrop in the atmosphere. These are the some of the example for vector field. Next one, unit vector. A unit vector A has both magnitude and direction. Magnitude of A, we can represent this as A vector. So the magnitude of A is a scalar and written as capital A or mod A. Here capital A or mod A indicate the magnitude value, and a unit vector AA along A is defined as a vector whose magnitude is unity. That is important. Unit vector whose magnitude is unity, that is its direction is along A vector. That is, we can define unit vector A vector is equal to A vector divided by mod of A vector is equal to, we can write this as simply A vector divided by modulus of A can be written as simply A. So already we know the magnitude of unit vector is unity. We can write this, we can simply rearrange this equation, then we can write A vector. We can write capital A as A vector into AA. That is simply A vector into AA represent the unit vector, which completely specify A in terms of magnitude A and direction is along AA. A vector A in a Cartesian or rectangular coordinate may be represented as ax, ay, az, or in the vector form. This is the in point format. We can write in vector format ax into ax. We can write this as unit vector. With respect to, maybe we can write it as cap or vector also. We can write at is cap ax into ax cap plus ay into ay cap, az into az cap. So now, these are the Cartesian coordinate. Here we have three vectors x, y, z. In Cartesian coordinate system, all the three vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other. That means angle between x and y are 90, angle between x and z are 90, angle between z and x are 90. That is mutually perpendicular, and the unit direction is along the each coordinate axis. Here ax unit vector along x direction, ay unit direction along y direction, and az is unit direction along z direction. That is unit vector ax, ay, az. Here component of a along ax, ay and az cap. So here along ax we have as a distance ax. We can write this as in along x direction we have the distance ax. Direction is defined by unit vector ax cap. Similarly, along y, it have the magnitude ay is multiplied by corresponding unit vector for its direction. So this is a distance ay. This is the distance ay whose direction is along y direction indicated by ay cap, ay into ay cap. And third one, az is nothing but distance along z direction. So here we can write this point as ax comma ay comma. So here the plane is in xy plane. So in xy plane the variation of z is equal to 0. So we can write this point as ax comma ay comma 0. So then we can simply project this point upward along z direction, then with the distance of ax into az, then we get the point. So this is a given vector. We can write in point format as ax comma ay comma az. So this is the point. This point along x direction we have the amplitude x, along y direction ay, along z direction az. This is the component of a along ax cap, ay cap and az cap, where ax, ay, az are called the component of a in x, y, z direction respectively. Ax, ay, az are unit vector in x, y and z direction respectively. The unit vector along a is given us. Already we know unit vector is nothing but corresponding vector by its magnitude. So already we given vector is ax into ax cap, ay into ay cap, az into az cap. So now this is the given vector. We need to take modulus for this one, square root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. This is the unit vector corresponding to given a vector. Then vector algebra. So in this vector algebra we discuss about some of the concept vector addition, subtraction and multiplication. So first one, vector addition of two vectors. Two vector a, that is a vector and b vector, can be added together to give another vector called c vector. That is c vector is equal to a vector plus b vector. Here in graphical representation, here we have a vector, here we have b vector. So sum of these two can be written as this one, c vector is equal to a plus c. So this is bring by using some standard analogy. So we need to give some directionality to the given vector arrangement. So I put one direction in clockwise direction. So we need to define the vector magnitude with respect to its direction. So along the direction means we take either positive or negative. So with respect to opposite direction we need to put another. Suppose along the direction we put the plus sign means along opposite direction we need to put minus sign. So here the resultant direction is along this one. So we can write along the arrow direction we can take it as positive value. So that is first one is c vector. So B is just opposite to the our assumed direction, so we have minus B vector. Similarly C is also just opposite to our analogy, so minus A vector is equal to 0. So simply rearrange this above expression, so finally we get C vector is equal to A vector plus B vector. So this is the final answer for this figure. Similarly here we have B vector up then A vector. While adding in similar manner, finally we get C vector is equal to B vector plus A vector. So now this C vector A plus B is equal to B plus A. This analogy is called commutative law. Vector addition always obey commutative law. Then addition of three vector. Here we have three vector A, B and C. Like two vector addition, first we need to find the addition of B and C, then we get B plus C along this direction. Then resultant of B plus C is added with C, finally we get A plus B plus C. Similarly, instead of directly first finding A plus B, directly first find B plus C value. In this figure, first instead of finding A plus B, directly we can find B plus C. While adding B and C, we get B plus C vector along this direction. Then A is added with B plus C. Finally we get the result as A plus B plus C. So here A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. So vector addition obeys associative law. So subtraction of two vector, subtract a vector B. So subtract a vector B from A. Solution, add B with the sense reversed to A, obtaining their difference ds on in figure. So now we need to subtract B from A. So here B is there, so and we have the A vector is here. First we need to reverse this B vector, so then we get minus B vector. Then like normal vector addition, we need to add A and minus B. While adding this, we get the difference. Similarly here also in this figure we have A vector along this direction, minus B along this direction. While adding these two, we get minus B plus A. So here both A plus minus B and A minus B both are equal. From the above relation, vector subtraction allows commutative law. Then multiplication of scalar and A vector. When the vector is multiplied by a scalar, a new vector is produced whose direction is the same as original vector and whose magnitude is product of the vector and the scalar. So here consider an original vector is a B vector and one's new given scalar value is A. While multiplying the scalar and vector, the resultant is again a new vector A, and its magnitude is simply magnitude of B vector is multiplied with A. That is defined by this statement. So next one, scalar multiplication or dot product. So here scalar multiplication indicate the resultant of this multiplication produce scalar value. So other name of scalar is dot product. Scalar multiplication of two vector is a scalar quantity whose magnitude is the product of magnitude of given vectors multiplied by cosine of angle between them. It is referred as dot product. A and B be a two vectors, then A dot B can be written as AB, that is mod of A vector into mod of B vector into cos theta. This is the relation between A dot B. So this is the A vector and here we have B vector. So for dot product of this, we get the relation, standard relation A dot B is equal to A vector in mod of A into mod B into cos of angle between these two vectors, that is theta. It obeys the commutative law, that is A dot B is equal to B dot A. So suppose here we have one example. We take A vector as AX into AX plus AY into AY plus A into AZ into AZ. Similarly, B vector is equal to BX into AX plus BY into AY plus BZ into AZ. So now we need to simply find AX dot AX. So AX dot AX mean these two mean unit vector along x direction. So we can write from the dot product definition, we can write dot product of these two as mod of ax into mod of bx is cosine of angle between these two vector. Already we know these two are along x direction. That means this angle between these two is 0. So for that cos theta value is 0, cos 0 is 1. Already we know the magnitude of unit vector is 1. So 1 into 1 into 1, the answer is 1. So similarly we can write ay dot ay is equal to 1. Az, this is az dot az is also 1. And ax dot ay, here x and y are the two coordinate of the Cartesian system. These two are mutually perpendicular to each other. Already we are explained. These two are mutually perpendicular means angle between these two, that is theta, is nothing but 90 degree. Theta is 90 degree. So already we know mod of ax is 1, mod of ay is also 1, cos of 90, the final value is 0. Ay dot az is equal to 0. Similarly, az dot ax also 0. A dot b is nothing but dot product. Dot product obeys commutative law, that is a vector dot b vector is equal to b vector dot a, and distributive law, that is a vector dot b plus c is equal to a dot b plus a dot c. It obeys the distributive law also. Next one, a vector dot a vector is nothing but mod of a vector the whole square, simply written as a square. Then cross product. The cross product of two vector, in general already in previous topic, scalar product of two vector, this is scalar. Here cross product or vector product, other name on the vector product, while cross product, the resultant answer is also a vector. Here we consider two vector, a cross b is equal to mod a vector into mod b vector into cosine of angle between a and b into an, where here an indicate a vector, normal vector, unit vector is perpendicular to both a and b. Unit vector perpendicular to both a vector and b vector. Here the cross product of two vector a and b is the vector quantity whose magnitude is the area of parallelepiped formed and its direction of advance of right angle screwed. The final resultant direction is found by a right-handed screw as A is turned into B. Thus this is the formula. So now, we need to find Ax cross B, that is A vector cross B vector. Already we defined A vector and B vector in previous slide. So first we need to write unit vector along 3 coordinate in the first row, and in the second row write the coordinate of Ax, and the third row coordinates of B. Now simply find the A cross B by simply find the determinant of this matrix. We get this one. Simply Ax into Ay minus Ay into Bz minus By into Az minus Ay into Ax into Bz minus Bx into Az plus Az into Ax By minus Bx Ay. This is the answer, which is obtained by crossing term in cyclic permutation, hence the name cross product. Cyclic permutation, hence its name cross product. Scalar triple product. Given 3 vectors, A vector, B vector and C vector, A dot B cross C is equal to B dot C cross A is equal to C dot A cross B. These 3 all are equal. So for finding this one, instead of finding first A cross B, then multiply that answer with dot product with A, we get the answer. Instead of this, we have the standard formula. Simply write the 3 vector in 3 cross 3 matrix. Simply find the determinant of this matrix, then we get the answer for this scalar triple product. A dot B cross C is the volume of parallelepiped having A, B, C as edges, and easily obtained by finding determinant of 3 cross 3 formed by A vector, B vector and C vector. Then vector triple product, A vector cross B vector cross C vector is equal to B into A dot C minus C into A. This rule is called PAC-CAP rule, BAC-CAB rule. We need to memorize this one, then easily we can write this formula. So in vector triple product, A dot B into C is not equal to A dot B dot C, but A dot B into C is equal to C into A dot B. And so next one, the condition for parallel. So already we know A cross B. What is the formula we have? A vector cross B vector is equal to mod A mod B into sin theta. If two vectors are parallel means theta value is become 0. So sin 0 become 0. So the condition for parallel operation is A vector cross B vector is equal to 0. This is the answer. Similarly, from dot product, we can identify the condition for two vector are perpendicular. Already we know the relation A vector dot B vector is equal to, what is the relation we have? Mod A mod B into cos theta. So what is the perpendicular means? What is the angle? Angle is 90. So cos 90 theta perpendicular means angle is 90. Cos 90 value is 0. So for the perpendicular condition, A vector dot B vector is equal to 0. In the next video, we will discuss continuation of this scalar and vector multiplication, and followed by distance vector, position vector, and some major problems in the vector analysis. Thank you.